Hello, arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Tonight we're doing my 84th Chillin' Chat live on a Sunday evening, talking home arcade with you guys out there in the home arcade community. We've got some really good guests on tap tonight as well. We've got both Raskull and Chaotic. We'll bring them both in here in just a moment. I wanted to say hi to everyone who's made it in the chat so far. Looks like Mike Hawkhurts was the very first one saying, "See you tonight." Good to see Mike Hawkhurts in the chat. He also has our membership badge as well. So he'll be able to use the emojis. Memberships are officially back, guys. So looking forward to seeing those again. Pixelated Traveler is here. He's saying, sweet, can't wait. We've got Mickey Yoon saying that he's going to be bowling in VR tonight, watching the stream. That's very cool. Always like playing bowling in VR, be able to catch up on the streams that way. Cool to see you using your VR headset. Shotgun Sean saying, what's up, guys? Good to see you, Sean. And let's go ahead and bring in now our two guests. We've got KaoticBPR. How's it going tonight, Chaotic?
Good, Big D. How are you tonight?
Doing good. And we've also got Raskull as well. He's a first-time guest. We've had Chaotic on once before, but never had Raskull on. Been wanting to get him on the show now for a while. How's it going tonight?
Going well. Just hoping that the power stays on with this storm going through this area.
Yeah, how's the weather right now?
It's now coming down sleet, and we got about 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground. So we're just hoping it, holds okay.
Yeah, hopefully it will. I know I'm traveling to Dallas on Friday, and my parents are already worried that I'm going to get delayed or canceled because supposedly they're going to get snow on Thursday and Friday in Dallas, which is unusual. Some years they don't get any snow, so it must be pretty cold.
Yeah, I've got to fly out Tuesday, and I'm kind of hoping that the airport actually will open on Tuesday because I'm pretty sure tonight and tomorrow morning they're not going to open.
Yeah, it's going to be tough traveling, that's for sure. MSU Rich is in the chat. He's saying, good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Goofyfoot as well, saying hello, Biggie. We've got a new member as well. Looks like P-Dub's Arcade Loft joined our membership, and he is now level 1 and just became a member. Thanks for the support, P-Dubs, and helping the show by becoming a member. That's awesome. Let's see. We got your co-host, Shotgun Sean, is in the chat.
Good to see that. He says he's not feeling too well.
Yeah, get well soon.
Yeah, hopefully you start feeling better, Sean. And we've got GeForce Guy, one of the best VR channels on the internet, saying, sup, can't wait for Media Oneup Cab. I'm so curious what it could be. We're going to get into that first. That's going to be our top subject tonight because John's definitely going to be showing off something really big here in just a couple days. Jim's the Pacers fan saying, hey, everyone, good to see you, Jim. We got Marine 50 saying, good evening, programs. Sir Sega, hello, Biggie D in chat. Mike Hawkhurt says, should be a great show with two of my favorite guests. These are two shows I don't miss. Raskull on Tuesday nights. And then, Chaotic, you've moved yours to Thursday, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're coming on Thursday right before Arcade Talk.
That's correct.
And that's mainly a AtGames focused show. But I guess if there's news in other areas, you'll talk about that as well.
Absolutely.
And we've got Arcade Dave. He's saying, what's up, Biggie D? Looking forward to the conversation tonight. Good to see you, Arcade Dave. And Tad Adam Green just came in at the last minute there saying, hey, all, going to be a great week for news. All right, well, let's get into our first subject. We're talking about Media Oneup, CES. This is kind of, I would say, for home arcade, the biggest story right now going into CES. Because normally we're talking Arcade Oneup, what they have coming, but they're kind of non-existent right now. We don't have anything new from them. They're not even going to be at the show. They're not even going to have a hotel room. So there's just not anything to talk about with Arcade Oneup. So it's all shifted. And John has been promoting this huge cab that's going to be announced on Tuesday at 7 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And Justin Wong is going to be promoting it, saying that finally we have something to talk about in home arcade. What do you guys think this could possibly be?
Rascal, you go ahead, man.
I mean, I've seen just the little bit that's out there. I mean, there's a total of 25 minutes or less on their YouTube channel. Not too much. Well, nothing on their website. Besides the usual, hi, we have a mission, we want to do something. So I'm curious to see where it goes. The involvement from John D is curious, as to what this is going to mean for it. But I'm always interested to see what happens in the home arcade space. So I'll be keeping my eyes peeled on this one.
Yeah, this is big news for sure. I only thing I can think that it's going to be is a Street Fighter 3 cab. That's what I've been hearing. Capcom. What do you think, Chaotic?
Well, I mean, you got to take what John D says like with a grain of salt, especially when you talk to him personally. I talked to him personally. He says everybody thinks I'm going to do Street Fighter. Everybody thinks I'm going to do Capcom because that's what I'm known for, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if I told you it's going to be something completely different? What if I told you it's going to be something that you wouldn't expect from me? And that's when I feel like I can blow the roof off the building. So I don't know. I don't know what direction he could go. And that's why I'm silently watching this in the background, because I really want to know what it is.
Yeah. I think the word got out. There are some content creators out there in the space that I think already know what it is. They're not allowed to talk about it. And so I think the word is out to certain people. I have not heard anything personally, so I have absolutely no idea what this could be. I'm hoping for Street Fighter 3, something new. But I've also been hearing possibly Namco, like a Pac-Man cabinet. And if we get another Pac-Man, how exciting is that going to be?
Wow. I mean, how many of those do we need?
Right.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the only Pac-Man cab that I could say I would want to see would have the 2 key titles on it. You bring out a Pac-Man cab with Mr. and Mrs. on it, you got something that's different. That would be the only thing that would be different is to bring out both of those.
Yeah.
That would be something new. You're right. They've never done that before. Now, we did see him recently. He was at the Namco headquarters talking about Happy Anniversary Tekken. So a lot of people think there's this slight possibility that it could be a Tekken cabinet. And I think that would be also huge as well. We've never seen that before. And if it had online, I think that'd be incredible.
Yeah. Or what if it was SNK versus Capcom or something like that?
Yeah, that would be good too. Just anything new we haven't seen before. If it's another Street Fighter 2 or another Pac-Man, I just don't think there's going to be much excitement. But they're saying finally something to talk about. I think that means, Arcade 1UP hasn't released anything new. I think this is finally going to be something new for us to look at and to buy. But this is...
Well, I mean, with Justin Wong involved, I mean, like some people have already said, Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, that's his jam. So, wouldn't be surprised to see either of those, or God forbid, both on the same cab.
Yeah. Now they're saying that it's going to have a Raspberry Pi in it, so it's not going to be like your, like Arcade 1UP specific boards for each game. It's just going to be like a Raspberry Pi. I think they're going to do on all the cabinets they make, and it should have like probably more than just the marquee game. Probably have a bunch of other games on it as well.
Well, if it's a Raspberry Pi, it means you can just add your own to it too, right?
True.
Yeah.
That's pure side load.
Yeah.
I think what's key is to have some type of online platform where people can have a community, play online, especially for fighting games. I think that's just an important piece of it. What do you guys think on that?
Yeah, I mean, the 2 fighting cabs I have behind me, both are online. And anything else that I would have ever thought about getting, even Killer Instinct back in the day, online play. There's only so much you can play against the computer, and there's only so many people you can play, in the house.
Yeah.
And especially if you don't get a lot of company at the house. So online play to me for a fighting cab is a must.
Yeah. And you have some fighting cabs, Chaotic. You've got Killer Instinct. You got Mortal Kombat. You have Street Fighter also?
Yeah, I got Big Blue all the way at the end. So, it's one of the reasons why you keep these cabs, right? It's because if you got a friend across the United States somewhere, you can play them at any time. And me and half a dozen, we talked about playing, on the Big Blue together. I'm Raskull. I could play you right now on Big Blue if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And we
That
just
would
have
make
that
for good
option.
streaming, but I'm in. Yeah, the other two feeds on the camera are just showing our asses playing Street Fighter,
Hey,
but okay,
that's all right.
fine.
Give somebody to look at.
Are you not very good at Street Fighter?
No. Unfortunately, every time I go on Big Blue, I am faced against Jago all the damn time.
Yep.
And if you've ever played him in Street Fighter, you know that it's a humiliating experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I try to stick to Dark Stalkers.
Yeah.
The one thing if they do Street Fighter 3, I've never played that one online. I think maybe on Fightcade you can play it
Yeah.
that way. But I think there was a PlayStation version that came out with online. But other than that, you haven't had an opportunity to play it online. I think that would be huge, if they bring that with online play. They've got Justin Wong back in it, help promote it. I think it could do really well. And then they've got Evo coming up too as well. I think that'll be a big part of it, and its introduction is showing it off at Evo.
Yeah.
I think this week is going to be more of just like a maybe a money, way to gather money and to raise money for the for this. Do you think it'll be a where they try to get investors to invest to make this, or do you think it's already ready?
I think he'll have a concept, maybe a mock-up, because he's been planning this kind of stuff for almost the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
So in CS is where he said he wanted to make a big impact, make a big splash, and I think to do that you would need to at least to have a demo unit of his vision,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you get people to jump on and say, okay, cool, I want to invest in this product. I want to say, let's make this a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
if you
that's
can't
where
put your
we're
hands
at.
on anything, then it's not going to be
Right.
getting people excited. If you were to just show videos or even show this is actual gameplay, but not be able to play something, that's not going to be a big winner.
Yeah. I think it's definitely not far along enough to where we can pre-order it. I think this is just going to be more of showing off like a demo or a prototype unit and raising money, trying to get people to invest in it to make it happen. Because you guys got to understand, Media and Oneup still a very small company. They just started within the last year. I don't even think they have, but maybe 2 or 3 employees, or it may just be John. So, he's really just using his licenses and his relationships with these license holders to make this happen. And he's a key part of it. But I just don't think he's far enough along in the company to just start making these without anybody's help.
Yeah.
So I would expect you guys on Tuesday to see one prototype unit in a hotel room to get people excited about it, to get people wanting to make one of these, and then probably more around Evo we'll hear on this. But we'll see what happens. We're only less than 2 days from the event starting, so we should know here very soon. Question for you guys: if he does make one of these and it is something new, are you guys going to be interested in getting one?
I would be. I don't know about the whole pie situation. I would like for it to be like a thought out, processing unit with, great software that has online capabilities. Basically plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that if you put a Raspberry Pi in there, what's to stop me from just deleting everything they have and putting whatever I want on it and making a multi-cab or multi-cade, and I don't need to buy another one of his products again. So I would like to see a little bit of structure and it not be a Raspberry Pi and actually be like a PCB.
Yeah,
I totally agree. You could put a decent user interface on a Raspberry Pi. Let's take Batacera, for example. That's a nice user interface. People have enjoyed that. But yeah, and you could run that on almost anything. So it is possible, but to me, it has to be something better than what I can already do. For a Raspberry Pi, I've already decked out several of my machines with better joysticks, and buttons than they originally came with. I can do OTG on a couple of machines right now. So if it's a Pi, I can already do it myself.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm looking for something a little bit better. And like you said, it would have to involve online. And you could already do online if you really wanted to, using so many things right now, that are open source. So it's got to be something that is got matchmaking and things like that. It just can't be a regular peer-to-peer Raspberry Pi thing.
Yeah, and another thing on the Raspberry Pi is, are they reliable enough to make them for like a whole line of cabinets like this? Like I have a Raspberry Pi in one of my arcade one-ups that I modded, had
Hmm.
it about 3 years, and I noticed the performance on the board isn't as good as it was when I bought it. Have you guys noticed that?
I mean, it's
Yeah, I
just like
mean,
anything. I mean, Windows, you lose performance on the same PC over time.
Hmm.
So anything will bloat as you use it, and garbage gets dumped into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It fills up with temporary files and stuff
Yep.
like that. What you want to do is just you want to either reset it or at least keep it updated. And even those temporary files from updates will bloat
Hmm.
up on the upload on the drive and cause it to slow down. So you want to keep it refreshed and everything. Like I got a Raspberry Pi 4 that I'm constantly changing it. Like I'm putting the newest version of Batacera, and then I'll go to Retro Bat, and then I'll even go to Retro Pi. It's just every now and then I'm just changing it up just to keep it fresh, just keep it new.
Yeah. We'll see what it is. Hoping for the best. I want to see something new. Arcades have been a passion of mine for the last 4 or 5 years. And with Arcade One Up not making anything new, it would be really nice to see John come in and kind of fill that void and make something great and continue to make really cool stuff for us going forward. So I'm excited about it. I definitely want to support it. If it's something worthy of our support, we'll have to find out on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yep.
So another thing going on at CES right now is going to be this Dungeons and Dragons, the Tyrant's Eye Stern Pinball. Now, I only normally get to play these tables when I go to the arcade bar or I go to the arcades, and they'll have them there. And other than that, I'm not really planning on buying one, but this story really caught my eye this week because this Dungeons and Dragons Tyrant's Eye just looks amazing. It's like a killer looking cabinet and kit artwork, and the play of this table just looks amazing. It's got this dragon, which is an animatronic dragon that's run by AI, and it actually moves around on its own. It's got like a mind of its own, and you have to play around it, and just looks really cool. They've got the missions in it. You've got like a dungeon area in the game you can go into, and you're like moving around in the dungeon on the DMD screen. Really cool looking cabinet. Here it is at the dungeon crawl area.
Hmm.
Have you guys caught this yet? The news on this Dungeons and Dragons yet?
Yeah, so I watched Brian Eddy's video where Stern was showing it off. They showed off gameplay. You pick between 4 different characters, and they each have their own special abilities. And then also you have, like the dungeon crawl. You go into there, and then you have to hit certain shots to either go straight, left, or right inside the dungeon. So you can either find a treasure room, you can escape, or you can find enemies and kill them and earn experience points. Um, I like the fact that they added a little shield at the bottom that you can activate with the action button
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and keep your ball from draining. And then I love the dragon because he can just move all over the place, avoid your shots or block your shots. And then also the dragon multi ball, he can shoot out 8 balls, and you could have like just 8 multi ball. It's just wild,
Mm-hmm.
and it keeps going until you either beat the mode or the time runs out, and you drain all the balls and leave one left.
Now that dragon that's shooting the balls out, that's only on the Pro and the limited edition, right? Or is it the
Right.
premium and the limited edition?
So the pro, um, I think he just moves up and down,
Mm-hmm.
or that might be the premium that his head just moves up and down. No, okay. I think the pro, his head moves up and down, but he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do a multi ball. He doesn't shoot the fireballs at you. The premium, his head moves up and down, but he does have the 8 multi balls that he can shoot out.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the limited edition, he's full on go.
Yeah, and what the limited edition, which is what we're looking at here, offers
Hmm.
is a ton of extras, like just visual extra upgrades that you're not going to get on even the premium. This one, I looked at all three, and I just feel like the limited edition just looks like head and shoulders above the other two. It just looks so much better. And
threw all their marbles in it.
yeah, it'd be really hard to buy one of these and not get the limited edition, but it's like $14,000, and they're only going to make 740 of them.
Right.
But man, I just hope like a local bar by me or arcade gets one of these because I'd love to go play it.
Otherwise, hopefully I'll be able to play it in like Southern Fried Gaming in Atlanta later this year or Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cleveland. We're all going there, so hopefully they'll have one there. Have you seen this yet, Raskull?
I haven't. I was digging through it a little bit when you told me about it being on the show. What is it? Their website is saying sold out on this all access limited edition.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean there's no more LEs? They're all.
Well, I don't think they've
700 or
even
whatever
gone on
sold?
sale yet.
They haven't even opened the pre-orders yet.
Okay, then I'm wondering why the heck they're putting that on their website.
I guess to show it off and show off the different versions that they have they're going to have available. Because
Yeah, 'cause it literally says sold out right there. That's
Yeah,
weird.
you were talking about how you can block that ball from draining.
Mm-hmm.
I saw people doing that during the multi-ball. That's like the perfect time to do it. But what were you saying, Raskull? What are your like initial impressions so far from what you've seen?
I mean, the animatronic dragon, of course, is pure awesomeness. The fact that it can block balls and start the whole up to 8 multi-ball is cool. But I don't like, unfortunately, I hate to say it, that cool feature is, or it grows with the additions.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that is what between that and the shield are two big deals for this table.
Mm-hmm.
And to go ahead and limit that to just its full functionality to the LE, I don't know. I know you got to differentiate things and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, if you're gonna do that dragon that damn cool, that is that's a staple to me. That's something that really diminishes to me the playability and enjoyability of the lesser two tables. Now I know we're talking about the pro being is that the lower end?
Yeah, that's going to be
almost
the entry.
half the price of the limited edition. So obviously something's got to give. But yeah, that's that one right there just kind of burns me a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like if the dragon is only moving left to right, or is it only moving up and down on the pro?
Just up and down on the pro and
Okay.
premium one.
Yeah, it's like if it's only doing that, I just don't even think that's an option. Like you wouldn't even want to get that one. You would want, because I think the dragon's the coolest part of it. You'd want him to be able to move all around and use that AI feature to kind of throw you off while you're playing, because there's no way of calculating what he's going to do, because it's got a mind of its own. And then I think the fact of like just the visual upgrades of the limited edition. I know with the premium, you can upgrade it over time. Like you can buy the parts on its own and just upgrade it over time. But it just seems like so much work, so much, money and everything over doing that. You might as well just get the limited edition.
Okay, now I just checked the actually have a PDF with a matrix of what the differences are between the three models, and it is only the Pro that does the vertical. The Premium does get the full multi-axis or axis. So okay, 2 out of 3 have it. I feel better about that then.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you look at the rails. What are those like protective rails that come on the left and right side there? That look like the flames on this one.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just your typical like pinball protective rails, but they're more like stylish on the limited edition.
Yeah, it's like you would have to have those. That would be a must
powder
buy.
coating, yes, dope.
And then the legs, you would have to have them color. You wouldn't want to get just the plain black.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the speaker grills, you would have to have that.
The speaker grills with the light up LED speakers, yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
then the
those are
art
pretty tight.
blades. The art blades are a must too.
Oh yeah.
So it's
like the best artwork too of all three.
Yeah, it is.
and it looks the best, I think, art-wise. Now, you can't see the Pro very good in this. I do like the back box on the Pro. It's got the wings of the dragon, and it looks really good. But other than that, everything limited edition on this, I think, is the way to go. I'm really looking forward to playing this. Also looking forward to the coverage as well. I noticed James, he's already at CES. He posted these images just right before the show. So I wanted to give him credit for these images, but it's there on the showroom floor already to see. He's probably going to have a video out soon on this. I think tonight is the first night that they're letting the media in to play it and to show it off for them. So looking forward to that and what they have to say about this.
Yeah, I would love to hear his thoughts about it for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely the one I've been most excited about in a long while. I've never really gotten into Stern pinball other than playing it at the bar. But just seeing this and seeing how much people are liking it and how much I'm personally liking it, just thing I'm looking forward to is one day having the money to have enough money to buy a Stern pinball for myself. And I'll probably just have one, probably never buy multiple of these, but I do see myself at some point in the next 10 years dropping like 9-10 grand on one of these and just having it be like my big purchase of my life and getting the right one, the one that I know will have a lot of playability for a long period into the future. And that's what I get the feeling of on this one is it's, if you're going to own just one, this would be the one to own because you'd probably play it for the next 10, 20 years and you never get tired of it.
As long as it keeps the value up, you can trade it in for something that you really want, something else, that comes out. Hopefully, like the value stays high on this.
Now, Console Kits, he's going to be at CES with James as well as B Kong and 19K Fox. He's saying in the Pro, the dungeon doesn't eat the ball. It's just simulated in software.
Right. So it doesn't have
it
doesn't drop down below the playfield. It just it's like a spot target you hit and it activates it.
Yeah, definitely pushing you to get that better model, whether it be the premium or the limited edition on this one. And it just looks great, though. I'm amazed at what they've done with this. And they did do a stream yesterday night, and that's what we were looking at here towards the end, where if you guys want to go check out the gameplay of it, you can see that from last night's stream.
Yep, there it is. And they had like 8 multi-ball. It was crazy. Activating the shield, no balls were draining, and he was just shooting all over the place.
And I'd watched that when they did X-Men recently, and I didn't feel like the X-Men stream went very well, but this one did. I felt like they were able to get some good games in, and you were able to learn a lot about the table and just how knowledgeable these people are of this and how much time and effort went into it. It's cool to hear. And you can definitely tell they put a lot of effort into it based on the things you hear. Now, another thing that's going on at CES right now, and I think this is probably the biggest story going into CES outside of John D's announcement, is My Arcade. And it's because they have a ton of stuff that they're announcing just prior to CES. We went through all these images last week with Todd and with Gamer Fridge. And have you guys been keeping up with My Arcade and all the stuff that they have coming?
I'm listening to what everybody else is saying. It's not my jam.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the GameStation Pro, love that to death. But there are other products. I mean, these are kind of things that I see at Kohl's as I'm, walking out the store after returning something else to Amazon. So they've always had that very. How do I look? Are we PG or PG-13 on the show?
We're PG-13. You could even be rated R.
Okay, so to me, I've seen most of their stuff as desk shit. Is what I consider it.
Yeah.
You put it there, but to sit there and play it is even less playable than some of the stuff that's twice the size. I mean, this I look at some of these, the pole position racing. No, I mean, even some of their little handhelds, that Tetris Pixel Pocket, just I'm like, no, I'd rather sit there and play the old Game and Watch than play one of those. So
you want to show that off? I have one of those as well.
I've got
I got the Zelda one.
Yes, this is the Zelda one.
Hmm.
And then I've got hiding in here.
Makes me want to pull mine out again and play it. It's somewhere in a drawer somewhere.
Mine too.
I actually keep these set up as desk clocks.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
sit. Yeah, I got them when they're plugged in. They'll sit there and just do their clock animations.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you showed me some silhouettes that are gonna come out. We'll see what they've got to offer. I mean, a bigger handheld obviously could be a good thing. We've seen a lot in the last year in the handheld market.
Hmm.
These other ones they have, like you're showing there, that are based on big joystick, little display, a little
Yeah.
more playable, but still, you've got to come out with something a little less gimmicky than that to really, in my eyes, get the home arcade market. This is for the casual market. This
Hmm.
is something I want to, I need to get my kids something under $50. They like gaming. There we go.
Yeah. I think that's the key too with these is the price. If you're
Hmm.
only spending 30, $40, you're not too unhappy with it if it's made of plastic and it's kind of cheaply made.
Hmm.
And I think that's their market, is getting these things down to a, sub 50 price, and selling them at CVS, selling them at Walmart, on the counters and stuff, just by the register and places like that. But the one thing I am noticing here prior to this CES we haven't seen recently is maybe a higher end type stuff than we've seen from them before. Especially like these countercade, not this casino-cade. It still looks really cheap. But then you start getting into like this Pac-Man countercade. These, they're calling the Mighty Cade, I think it is. Mighty Player. I think these are going to be a little more high end. And we saw a preview of this stuff last year at CES. They had an Atari one called a Mega Player. And they had a Game Station portable, Atari portable. And those looked higher end, better than we've ever seen them do before. And that's what they've kind of been teasing towards the end of last week, which we looked in this image, this Mighty Player. But then they showed some images this week of some other stuff that they're doing. This looks like a higher end. What did they call the little handheld? What is that called?
That's my arcade game station. I have no idea.
I forgot what. Pocket Player.
Pocket player. That's
Yeah. So this Pac-Man 45th looks like a higher end Pocket Player than we've seen from them before. It doesn't look like it's made of plastic. And also it's got a better D-pad. It's got the D-pad kind of like the Xbox controller. And it's also got the speakers. I saw a Gen X video on this week. Those speaker grills are different as well, maybe upgraded sound. If they were to do like higher end stuff, would you be a little more interested in my arcade?
No, not me personally. It's.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean, for
feeling
me,
it. I'm not feeling
only
it, man.
it would have to be handheld, good stuff. I've got enough desktop stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm actually downsizing on, getting rid of.
Okay. You're trying to get rid of this stuff. See, I'm just now getting more into the smaller stuff. I just bought a shelf that I'm going to start using to display my New Wave toys. And then eventually I'm probably going to start getting this My Arcade stuff and including that in there as well. And having like a little display area of the miniature arcades. So this is Outrun. Heard really good things about the pole position version of this. Actually plays pretty well. Still kind of cheaply made in its plastic case and stuff, but the controls are actually quality. The shifter, the steering wheel, the game plays really well. It's an
That
like
shifter looks delicate as heck to me. I mean, you get excited and want to shift gears. I can just see that just breaking the heck off. Is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, they said it's actually pretty good. It holds up pretty well on the pole position. And this will be a Sega Outrun version of it. And I thought that's a good arcade ROM to get because I never got the arcade one of Outrun.
I mean, the best thing about it is the unique controls, right? And I guess the most accurate they can do for like a miniature, pocket arcade, whatever you want to call it. So I'll give it that, but I don't know, man.
So yeah, this is more Sega. This is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog. So this is just like that Shinobi player we saw, small plastic one, but it's got a full-size joystick.
Yeah.
And it's got a full-size arcade button there. Also, they're using the Sega logos. That is something that Arcade Oneup wasn't able to do on their Golden Axe and on their Outrun. But My Arcade was able to get the logos.
Yeah.
And so that's Sonic the Hedgehog. This, I think, is probably the highest end thing we've seen from them so far. This is going to be that Capcom X Namco countercade. And it's going to have a spinner. It's going to have a full-size joystick, full-size buttons. It's got 6 buttons, plus it's got 4 smaller buttons. It's also got the start select, all that stuff up there at the top. So I'm wondering, what are the games going to be included on this that are going to utilize all these controls? They said there's 100 games, and that's going to either be Namco or Capcom. So I'm really interested to see what the games list is going to be, how it's going to utilize these controls, and how well is it going to play. It looks very high-end for anything they've done before.
I mean, that deck does look impressive. That almost looks like something you'd see Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like they took the ideas from Glenn and kind of just were like, yeah, let's throw this out.
Well, no, because if you look at that, we'll call it spinner, paddle button, whatever. That's also very reminiscent of what they did on the Game Station Pro, the Atari, to bring paddles in with just a little thumb twister. So,
yeah, this looks good, and it's got the lighting around the joystick and the spinner there. That looks really good, I thought. And you can see the size of it as well. It's going to be kind of like that Evercade Alpha size, it looks like.
And then that's what it reminded me of. If it went ahead and did cartridges, like the Evercade Alpha, then yeah, this has a chance.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. So one of the products that they're teasing here is going to use NES cartridges. So this handheld here, you can insert an NES cartridge into, and I assume it'll emulate that game to the console. So that is a good thought. Are they going to do that on this as well? I know with the Capcom Evercade that they did, they were able to get that done to where you could include cartridges on that and play them on that. So very well could happen.
Yeah.
I think the key is for the Capcom and what's important for them is that you don't put Capcom games on a cartridge, that they're stored locally onto the machine.
Yeah, Capcom's deal is everything has to be digital. Well, that's the reason why Evercade couldn't get Capcom's cartridges or anything. Everything had to be digital.
Mm-hmm. And this is different in that we're seeing Namco and Capcom on the same cabinet. Also, it leads me back to John D and what he's doing with his. He's big, Capcom guy, but we recently saw him at the Namco headquarters. Wonder if he got word that My Arcade was doing this together in combination on one cabinet. Maybe his new cabinet will be a Namco X Capcom cabinet as well.
And then he also had that he's working with Unico as well, so that's SNK. So I mean, I think he's trying to work with several partners to try and get something done.
Mm-hmm. So definitely an interesting time. The last year's been very slow for home arcade, like not pinball, but arcades. It's been extremely slow. Yeah. And I feel like that's all coming to a head right now here at the beginning of this year. And we're just going to, minds are going to be blown with all the stuff we're going to see announced over these next few days. Between John D and Media Oneup and My Arcade and what they have coming. Now, one thing that we saw last year, which was something that really caught my eye last year, and Raskull's going to be right back with us here. He'll take off for just a moment. But one thing he really showed off here last year at CES, or My Arcade did, was this Game Station Go. And I remember 19K Fox, he did a walkthrough of the My Arcade booth. And the one that caught my eye the most was this Game Station. They were going to call it the Game Station Portable Atari. Mm-hmm. It just looked like it had a ton of controls on it. Looks like it was going to play a wide range of Atari games because it had like the keypad and the shoulder buttons and the trackball, the spinner. All that stuff was really cool, I thought. And I was worried, did they just give up on that idea because we saw all these teases for all this other stuff? But then the video dropped yesterday for what they've renamed it the Game Station Go. and that's what we're looking at here.
Okay.
Would you guys be interested in like a higher end quality, higher end handheld by My Arcade if it played Atari games?
Me personally, no, because I have Amernix, I have a Retroid Pocket, I have just about all these like Chinese different handhelds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can play up to Dreamcast or even some GameCube on some of the higher end ones I have. So not me. Now I do like the fact that this one has like a small trackball and a spinner, and then you got the number pad. So
Mhm.
I like how they're going towards those specific type games from the old stuff. But why do you need a L2 and R1 and R2 and the L2 and R1, L1, and why do you need analog sticks and stuff like that? Like, is this going to be more than just old school Atari? Is it going to be new Atari? Is it going to be
It's going to have
yeah,
to be. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, even as far as the 7800, there was nothing that used all those
right?
controls. So you literally had up to, for multiplayer, 4 paddles, each with 1 button, or you had 2 joysticks with
Yeah,
1 button.
yeah.
That's all. That's all
And
you
like
did.
Papa Brad said, if you could sideload games on it and you could actually use the trackball and spinner, that'd be pretty interesting. Like, there's other games out there, like maybe you can throw Golden Tee on there and play with the trackball and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or Arkanoid and stuff like that. So I mean, I if you can sideload stuff on it now you got me a little bit interested, because now you got these unique controls that you can throw on there.
But see, handheld wise, for doing paddle games for Atari, I mean, you're holding a handheld like
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah,
your hands. You you then to let go with
you're
one to
good point.
use
You would
a
have to hold. You'd have to set it
yeah.
on the
I mean,
table
to
and kind
me,
of hover over it.
yeah. You're
So
whoever wants to take this and send me the royalties, you want to go ahead and do Atari in a handheld, you use a thumb wheel or a wheel that your finger can do while you are
right,
still
does it
holding
come with
it.
that stand so that you can actually use that kind of stuff? Because obviously they don't
Yeah,
have a
that's a good
kickstand.
point. I think that stand is going to come with it.
That'd be kind of intuitive.
Mm-hmm. So Kurt the
Yeah.
Daring, he says Atari Game Station Go. The keypad makes me wonder if it supports 5200 games. That would be awesome. Also, Atari Lynx, if they could get those games on there as well. If this is just like an ultimate Atari handheld,
Oh hell, throw Jaguar on there.
yeah, Jaguar would be great.
All right.
Uh,
Now I got to let the dog back
All right,
in. I'll
buddy.
be right
yeah,
back.
no problem. But then I'd also saw that there was an SD card slot on the top. So that may open it up to sideloading games. And with the Game Station, what was it, the Remix or the Game Station? What do you have?
Me, I have I just have Amernix and I have the Retroid Pocket.
Okay, so you don't have a My Arcade.
No, I don't have any
yet.
of their products.
Okay. Rascal, you have a My Arcade Game Station. What is it called? Pro?
The Game
Okay.
Station Pro.
And you
yeah.
can sideload games on it. Yeah, so you
Yes.
should be able to on this handheld, I would think. I don't see why they would do it any differently than the Game Station Pro. They've also got a Game Station Remix coming as well, which is just like your Game Station Pro, but with better controllers. Did you have a problem with the controllers that came with it?
I didn't find any problems. I mean, I liked the innovation of their little paddle wheel that they had on there, versus, having separate paddles and separate joysticks. Could go either way. The versatility on that was that they were wireless, and you could do any game straight there. Now, for authenticity, Atari wise, I love my Atari
Mm-hmm.
Gold from company I work for, AtGames. So full disclosure there, because that works with not only the controllers it came with, it works with the stock, regular, old-fashioned Atari
Mm-hmm.
controllers. I could, get the 2 sets of paddles that I've still got in the box, hook it up to that, and play a bunch of games that I don't have for my original Atari 2600. So it goes both ways. For authenticity, I like the really accurate controls, but for convenience, to have wireless and have the paddles and the joysticks on the same controller was a great feature of the Game Station
Yeah.
Pro.
And I think that's what they're going for, a wide range of controls on one device. A lot of games, the ability to sideload more games onto it. And so just some really exciting stuff from My Arcade that we haven't seen from them before. Higher end, higher quality handhelds, countercades, which it looks like that's a sure thing this year, or countercades, whether that be the Atari or that Capcom X Namco, plus that Pac-Man one, the Mighty Player. Some really cool stuff coming from them. But I think the real question is, and what most people want to hear from them, is if this is successful, are they going to get into making what we have behind us, which are the 3/4 scale or larger arcades? Do you guys actually see them? Because I think that's the ultimate thing everyone wants to see from whether it be them or New Wave Toys or another competitor trying to get into this business, is are they going to make a larger replica arcade that stands on its own and you can walk up to?
I mean, that would definitely like pique my interest if that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 3/4 scale or close as possible to full scale. So if my arcade was to do that, I'd be more interested in that. I'm definitely looking for authentic look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's ultimately what we want to see from these companies. And I think an important part of doing it is to start small and to work your way up. Do you guys think that that's a smart business model, not to go right into it and to get into the smaller stuff first, be successful with that, and then move your way up to the bigger stuff?
I think part of it revolves around licensing. You start small, you get the licensing, the relationship, and then you have numbers to prove that you can do other things and get licenses for other bigger products. So I think it's a smart business move.
Yeah, that's another thing we're starting to see from Glenn this year is he's getting into the full size cabinets. Did you see his pictures of his new cabinet that just came? This it's called a Build-a-Cade FU.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think of it? See if I can.
I haven't seen it myself.
I don't know, man. I love Glenn's products. From what I've ordered from, like buttons and like actual joystick type stuff.
Okay.
The monitor looks really, really small inside that bezel. Because it has to rotate and everything. I get that, but it's just like that bezel just looks so big, and
Yeah, it's huge.
and makes the monitor look so small. And I'm just like, I don't know, man.
And that marquee, it looks like it kind of overhangs over the monitor a lot. You'd almost have to like sit down or be crouched down a little bit, or that'll be in your way.
Well, I mean, it depends on how tall it is, right? And then like how tall can you make it if you need it to be a little bit taller? And people really wanted a 26-inch screen, and now it's going back down to what, 19 or 17, right? 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the fact that eventually you're going to be able to add on to it and make it look like a Nintendo style cab.
Mm-hmm.
Like his little miniature Build-a-Cades, right? And then the control panels are swappable, and you can get it a certain way that you want it. If you want it to look like a certain cab, you can basically build it the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the concept. I don't know, man. I want to see more of it before I make my pure judgment on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as modular as Glenn's stuff is, I can't see why he wouldn't offer two size screens.
It's cost. He's trying to keep this under $1,000,
Right.
and this is a full size
Yeah,
cabinet.
but again, we've always seen him do modular. So, if the screen itself was a module, then we could offer up a 19 and a 24.
Yeah. You would think at some point he would offer that. If the cabinet's successful, it's got a lot of, they have a lot sold. There's a lot of them out there. Bring in the accessory of a 26 or 24-inch screen replacement that you just take the bezel out completely.
Well, then that's a tough one, though. If you were talking an upgrade / replacement, then I've already spent the money on the 19. I'd rather you gave me the flexibility to go ahead and buy it, with either or up
and
front.
that's what I heard Mike B saying. He's like, I wish they would have the option. That's the way he should go. But I think the decision's already been made by him that they're going to stick with this 19-inch because they want it to be able to turn and be a vertical or a horizontal monitor.
Also, I know he wants it to be automatic so that you hit a button and the motors will rotate the monitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
much cheaper if they went like the AtGames Legends Mini route and take off the bezel, take your monitor, turn it, put your bezel back on, and do it that way if you really wanted to do it? I mean, I know he wants everything to be really easy, but wouldn't it be much cheaper if we did it that way?
That'd be a hell of a
Yeah.
lot cheaper. The motorized turning of that monitor,
I mean,
that's
I
not
understand there's
cheap.
people out there that don't want to fiddle with that, don't want to take the bezel off just to do a vertical, game or whatnot. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the way Act Games did with the Mini, I think was a good idea. And I just
But when you're looking at doing a larger screen that can go vertical or horizontal, you're putting a lot different angle on that
Mm-hmm.
screen. If you look at the MIDI behind me, let me see, how would I turn?
Yeah, I love
Go.
your
No.
Tetris one.
Yeah, it's actually in there. So yeah, the Tetris Mini, you can see right now I've got it in vertical mode, and that is a tall cabinet, or screen. In order to do that, you've also got to change the angle the
That's
screen
true.
is
Mhm.
at. So instead of being at, I think that one looks like it's damn near 45 degrees on
Mhm.
Glenn's, you have to, because of the space, bring it forward, and that sometimes that's an experience people don't
Yeah.
like.
I get you.
Yeah, you're just pressing a button. It's all automated. It's going to rotate on its own. Just real simple. And it'll be the first time we've seen that on a cabinet. Interested to see how it looks, how it works. I definitely think with these prototypes, without having the artwork around the bezel, definitely doesn't do it any favors because
Right.
you can see the difference between the bezel and the outside of the monitor just doesn't match, and it just looks terrible, I thought. But once you get some like artwork on there, make sure the artwork matches up whether it's in vertical or horizontal. It'll look a lot better. Also, that game deck looks just like my ultimate control panel in my arcade. Looks like it's going to be the same.
Yeah, that was spot
same
on.
controls.
Yeah.
One thing I am noticing though is the amount of room to the left and to the right of the controls.
Yeah,
You'll have a
plenty
lot
of
more
hand
room
space.
for your hands and wrist on that game deck because it's a much wider cabinet.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
think they're going to do a like a bit LCD marquee with these as well, or have the option to get one. Did you guys hear that?
Mm-mm.
You haven't? Okay. I
No.
think that's what he's trying to do, is, to get a bit LCD marquee in there. And then I also have heard him talk about in the past something he would really like to do at some point. I don't think it'll happen on this one. Maybe an accessory in the future is to have side panels that are also bit LCD. So everything changes. The entire cabinet artwork changes.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's expensive, and just like that motor that Brooklyn Menace was saying is going to add weight. Those are going to add weight. I mean, you've got foldable displays on phones, so yes, we can do ultra thin display OLED displays, but yeah, that'd be a tough nut to crack, especially because the art for true cabs out there, all the real cabs are all different sizes. I mean, yes, there's some commonalities between the Nintendo ones that they did and Sega did some that are the same, but they're different shapes, man. And to go ahead and try to get that to map out, that's a tough one. At best, I would say maybe an OLED screen underneath the control deck, and we've seen Al Linky do that, just with some of his stuff from Pixelcade. But yeah, I mean, I've jokingly in the past said, yes, side art that can
Yeah.
be dynamic. Of course, I think I said that originally for pinball machines because playfields are generally roughly the same kind
Uh-huh.
of shape. So it'd be much easier to pull that off on pinballs. But for an arcade machine, that's a
Yeah.
big order.
I don't think we're seeing that anytime soon, but I know that's, Glenn's
No.
goal is to eventually make something like that. That's what he really wants to see happen. And then this,
Yeah.
it's got swappable control panels. So that area right behind or below the control panel will be like an open area of the cabinet where you can put more game decks into. So you can easily store them and swap them out as you need them.
Okay, so deck storage, cool.
Yeah, so there'll be an open area there. Also, where the coin door is, that area will be, you'll be able to open that area up and you'll have more room for accessories in there. And it looks like it's going to have a full-size coin door. It's going to be like a nearly full-size cabinet. And if he's able to get this for under $1,000, I see a ton of people buying these because, for one, Arcade One-Up's not making anything. And depending on what John D's doing or how long that's going to take, this looks like it's farther along. People will probably buy this up when it comes out.
Now, Biggie, do you think he can possibly get some way to like flat pack this, or is this going to have to be freight?
Yeah, that's another thing is how do you ship this? It's going to be heavy. He was talking about it being, 250, 300 pounds.
I know he was trying to get the weight under 200 because that would make the shipping maybe around 250 to $300, and that's fair. If you look at the Unico Nova Blast, kind of makes sense for it to be that kind of price, as heavy as it is. But I don't know, like, is he going to be able to flat pack this so that we build it ourselves, or is this going to have to be one whole piece or two whole pieces, and we'll have to just put it together that way? I really want to pick Glenn's brain about that and see how he wants to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you'd almost, and I like Mike's comment here. If it's a true Build-A-Cade, it could ship in smaller pieces because the whole experience will be building it, and it really doesn't matter how many shipments come as long as it all gets to you.
Yeah, take your idea from your miniature Build-A-Cade and put it into this big one. Let us build it ourselves and screw things in and set it up. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, come in as many pieces as, make it easily shippable as you can. And then that way we're literally putting it completely together. And it's not, that's part of the experience too with the Build-A-Cade is the whole building experience of it.
Yeah.
Also, you'll learn the ins and outs of it as you're wanting to customize it, change it, get accessories, new accessories. You know exactly how to do all that.
And that's one way that the MVSX did its thing, with Unico. The top is the bar top, so it's one piece, but you had to build the actual base, buy it separate. So maybe he could do it that way and just have like a bar top that sits on top of the actual cabinet itself and screws in. That would be nice.
Yep. So these are early images. I got these off the Facebook group. Glenn had started a Build-A-Cade Facebook group that I just joined. If you guys want to keep up to date on the news, these images have been coming all week, so I'm sure they'll continue to come as they progress and finish. Have the final product. I think it's still in the prototype phase, so they're still open to changes. And guys, make your voice known on things you'd like to see change. That may still happen.
Yeah.
I know Raskull and Mike B, they really want to see a bigger screen, so maybe that'll be an option. Now, next we're going to get into some AtGames. And I think before we talk AtGames, Raskull, do you have something you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I always have to disclose. Whenever I talk about AtGames, I have to disclose I do work for AtGames. So, one, I'm not allowed to say anything that hasn't been said publicly. Sand Spirits knows that. Wink, wink. Okay. So, just got to put that out there to cover my legal butt.
So, yeah, we'll make sure it's questions you can answer tonight. But I did want to talk about this most recent, or I guess it's the second most recent pinball pack, which was Natural History Pinball Pack 3. Looks like it's been getting a lot of coverage over the last couple of weeks. A lot of people happy with the Nature's Fury and the microbes, but not so much with the insect world, the dinosaur dynasty. What do you guys think of this pack overall, and which ones are your favorites?
Well, the one you're showing now is absolutely my favorite. Nature's Fury is so much fun. Yep. It's got a good balance play field. The ball lock system's pretty freaking cool, and you can activate that multiple times. And I don't mind that if my ball drains and I have two balls locked, they will fall down, and you have to start over and build it up again.
Yep.
This to me is the standout table, but there's nothing wrong with the other three either, man. Like there is a top tier like this one, and then it goes down like second, third, and fourth easily. But out of the three Natural History packs, this one, hands down, is like Pete said, stupid simple fun, man. This is the best like out of the three. And if you were to buy any of them, this would be the pack to definitely buy.
Yeah. And that's the one I was most
Yeah.
interested in getting. I haven't bought one for my AtGames Legends Ultimate yet, but I found out that this does not play on my Legends Ultimate. You have to have a Pinball HD or a Micro to be able to play it.
Correct. Decision was made on that to make pinball games for pinball machines. Also, if you know the ins and outs of our devices, the ALUs have a lesser processor in them. When the ALPs came out, they jumped from the 3328 rock chips to the 3399s, and that allowed us to do a lot more in terms of pinball machines. And over time, we just decided that pinball is going to be for pinball, and it's we're able to get better tables created if we draw a line in the sand at the processor level.
I like that. I like the fact that it's eventually going to have to happen
because your software sales on game sales on the AtGames Legends Ultimate for pinball packs probably wasn't very high. It's probably very minimal.
I don't know the numbers on that. That's in marketing's department. But this pack right now, as Brian said, it is a very well-rounded pack. The four tables are unique to each other. Yeah. Even though we got a Dinosaur Dynasty 2 in here, that's a whole bunch of different dinosaurs than and environments than in the original Dinosaur Dynasty. The fact that these four tables are, as P-Dub said, stupid simple fun, and they're unique. You can go play these four different tables, and not feel like you're playing a rehash of one of the other ones or a rehash of any previous table. World of Microbes is a close second to me after Nature's Fury. It really is. I mean, and depending upon what day you ask me, I could flip-flop those. So these were a lot of fun to go ahead and play through the development process, but seeing the final product that came out, just it was a lot better, a lot more than I thought they would end up being from script to screen. So they definitely are. They're worth it. I mean, at $25 and $35 for the pack, again, I'm not trying to sell AtGames stuff. I'm just saying that those four tables for that price, you're getting your money's worth, is what I'm telling you. And
also, I like the fact that it feels like Magic Pixel is listening to their feedback. Less flippers, less segregated play fields, more open fan style play field and stuff like that. It just feels more like it's just cohesive unit now, and just it's fun, man. There's just so many things to do, and the game modes feel more like a real pinball table as well.
Yeah. So this one comes with four
they really
tables.
do.
It's $25 for the HD, $35 for the 4K. Do you guys notice a big difference between the HD and 4K, the quality, or do they look about the same?
I don't on HD.
See, most of my testing on the HD, I'm going to confess, was on a Pinball Micro, because it's so much easier for me just to yank that thing, drag it over to my desk, and test it out. So, I mean, I'm not in the testing department anymore. I'm in project management, but I do spend a lot of time with these tables along the way. But overall, I'd say the HD does look as sharp as it can. The 4K is noticeable in its differences. I've seen the raw files, so I can attest to that. But I still think that the HD looks darn sharp compared to any other table that's been released on that device. And 4K wise, that is true. 21, I got to do this dimensions correctly. 2160 by 3840. Somebody once corrected me because it's actually portrait versus landscape. And I used to actually write in the numbers. Okay, these are 3840 by 2160. And somebody once told me, Scott, it's not that direction. Oh, crap. Go back, change my release notes. All right. It's funny because when I did the release notes for Natural, or not for this one, for Sea of Thieves, I did finally flip-flop. And I said, no, it's this way. And somebody tried to correct my release notes. I'm going, oh no, I'm not going down that path again.
Jason wants to know: does the back glass animate like the others?
Yes.
It does.
Yes, the letters light up. There's spot lamps on the back glass and everything. Yes.
Does it use the?
It's very much like an old real solid state that has the lamps that glow in certain places and stuff. It's not like a pup pack where everything moves. It's more like a good back glass that you'd see that just starts glowing in certain areas.
I like that they're adding that, because that's something new that they've been doing in it. And then for the DMD, is it the same DMD we've been seeing, or is it different?
Well, I mean, it's got the little shapes.
When you say
we've
been seeing compared to what?
To the Sea of Thieves, because like I've been hearing a lot of people talking about how the Sea of Thieves DMD just is like that generic, which I'm talking about, where it's like the same DMD on all of them.
Okay, so like when you are scoring and stuff like that, it's the exact same font, and it has the colors, like the trippy colors and stuff that pop up. But to me, the newest part about these is the DMD when it's static like this. You got the actual pirate ship in the background, and you got that. That to me, I think that's new on these. I don't remember the other older tables having that.
So, like, what I'm talking about,
No, we've been doing it on the 4Ks. Yeah. If you look at the natural histories that are on the 4K machines, they had a similar kind of back glass on, or no, sorry, a DMD on them. But like you said, they will change from time to time, based on the game.
Okay, yeah, like you know what I'm talking about with the scoring though, and it looks like the trippy like 70s type graphics. Yeah, you're seeing it there. Is that standard on all of them? Like on the Dinosaur Dynasty, on the Insect, the Microbes, are you getting that same scoring screen on the DMD?
Yeah, that's Magic Pixels DMD style. It's been like that for all their Zachariah recreates and the deluxes anyway. The remakes or whatever. That's just their style, their artwork.
Okay. Yeah, so that's something I've been hearing, and people are a little bit, I guess, unsatisfied with that scoring screen on the DMD because they're reusing the same one on every game, and they'd like to see that more customized for each individual game. And wondering if that's going to ever happen, or are they going to continue with the same that they've been using?
Well, I mean, we were looking at developing a pinball table like this. Obviously, the most important is what you're going to be looking at, and that's the play field. To me, everything on the back box is pretties, but it's not. You're 90% looking down at the play field when you're playing. So to reuse an engine, we'll call it, for the DMD. I don't see it as a bad thing. Now, the one thing you will notice though is that the color palette, I guess you could call it, does differ table to table. If you were to go ahead and look at the exact same DMD or look at the DMDs for, let's say, the old Dr. Seuss, those changed into those blue, reds, and white kind of palette and things like that. So it does differ, but I can see the point. We're spoiled by having pup packs and OTG where you can go ahead and do all sorts of magic, but I'll look at Calvin going in there saying he likes the old monocolor, similar to like I guess Adam's Family, where it's true 128 by 32 4-to-1 DMD. Snoopy was done that way and things like that. So I can see that, Calvin, definitely. To me, I like the old school. For a while, I was a pup pack bigot on OTG, where, well, damn it, if you don't have a animated video on my back glass and my DMD, this is shit. I might as well,
You're not going to put in the work. I'm not.
But that's when I spent the money to buy the upgraded back box and all this stuff. So after that investment, I was like, you damn well better show pretty shit on here. But nowadays I'm back to the purist, where I mostly pay attention to the play field. The DMD to me is a score, unless you're doing maybe something that's a little bit, I don't know, animated on there. That's like a mini game. But to me, the DMD is just my
Yeah,
score.
see, for me, it's like I've been seeing the videos of this Sea of Thieves, and I thought it being like a rare pack that we were going to see a different DMD completely for this. So I was a little disappointed to see that same animation during the scoring. And it really stuck out to me, not having purchased one yet, about to get one, that's something I really like to see them improve. But everything else looks good. Like the back glass, I love the lighting that they're doing now on that, where it changes a little bit. And then the game itself looks great. It looks amazing. And it's cool to see rare. So we had all the Magic Pixel, we had the Zen, but now you've got rare packs, which I think are really cool. You know, what else could they get in the future? Kind of opens the door up for all kinds of games licenses to come through and make their pinball version of those.
Right.
So a lot coming for them. Now, talking about Sea of Thieves, because we're showing that, and we're showing Papa Brad's video here, his shorts of this. What do you guys think of Sea of Thieves, the table?
I like the music. I like the
music is
and
killer.
the actual guy, the pirate call outs and stuff like that, like the voice actor. Probably some of the best that Magic Pixel has done. I like the
Yeah, we've used that voice actor before. It's just a matter of choosing a dialect that we want and things like that. But he nailed the dialect on this one,
and it gets me kind of excited because I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves on the Xbox, so I do recognize some of the music. I'm not sure if it's the actual licensed music. It is.
It is. It is actual licensed music from Rare. This was a very tight project.
Okay, so you confirming that helps me relax a little bit about Battletoads and Killer Instinct coming later, because when I see Killer Instinct coming out in February, I know we're talking about Sea of Thieves, but I'm too excited about Killer Instinct.
Sure,
and Rare, you know, I just when I think Killer Instinct, I want to hear that music. I want to hear that SSF kit bang that sub, that music, you know, the bass lines. I want to hear that, and I want to hear certain call outs that licensed call outs from that game and stuff. So when you're saying that they're actually using the licensed music, that makes me feel a lot better when it comes to those two coming out.
Yeah, Killer Instinct's going to have to have
they literally give you a playlist you could choose from, and all of our stuff had to be approved by them. Whenever you're dealing with big licensors, you've always got to go ahead and get approvals. And this one, came out very well. I never played Sea of Thieves on my Xbox until this project came along with AtGames. So, I got to do some homework playing some Sea of Thieves, and I was like, okay, I hope we hear this track and things like that. And as it got developed, very, very happy with it.
That's great news.
Yeah, now we did get some news from Glenn just now. He's saying screen news on 1/7/25 at 10 a.m. Eastern. So he's going to use the same day that John's using for his Media Oneup announcement to make his announcement on his screen. So we may get something like 26-inch, hopefully, or maybe larger than 24-inch screen. So we'll see what that ends up being. But I think enough people have voiced their concerns over the size of this 19-inch. They just want to see something bigger.
That's
so hopefully we'll get that.
I can't wait.
So now there was a little bit of controversy behind the Sea of Thieves, the Killer Instinct, and the Battletoads because they were coming out in two separate parts, like a part one.
Yes.
So if you guys order this pack, let's say today, you're only going to be able to play Sea of Thieves right now. The other two, which will be Killer Instinct and Battletoads, will not come until February the 20th. So you're essentially, like the way I'd see it, you're buying Sea of Thieves, and then you're pre-ordering Killer Instinct and Battletoads. Is that about right?
That's the way it feels, right? That's pretty much
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did this with one of the, this is actually before my time with AtGames, one of the Dr. Seuss packs was released that way as well, where there was one table, or it was partially released and then fully released. So it's going to be the thing. You buy it, and when it comes out, you'll just go ahead and do an update, and you'll get the other two
Very
tables.
cool. Yeah, and these are the ones I think people really want to see from Rare. Sea of Thieves was a big game. I know it was big on Xbox, but when you think of Rare and arcades, you think of Killer Instinct and Battletoads. So those are the two that I'm really looking forward to. And talking about the music, they really got to nail the Killer Instinct music on that SSF kit. I feel like that's a big opportunity for them to hit it out the park with that. And then the Battletoads will be cool too. I mean, that's just such a classic beat 'em up game. There's a lot of thought too on what direction do they go for the license, or with the license. Do they go with the newer ones, like the new Killer Instinct for Xbox, the new Battletoads for Xbox, or do you go with the classic retro Killer Instinct and Battletoads? It looks like from the pack, the artwork on the pack, they're going with the original Killer Instinct, maybe 1 and 2, and but I guess they could do a combination of all of them, and integrate all the games into it if they wanted to.
Yeah. Just let me hear my call outs like Killer Combo and Combo Breaker.
Yeah, combo breaker.
Yeah, I gotta hear that stuff, man.
Yeah, that'll be so fun during pinball.
Dude, that would make so many people in the community super hype about it and be like, and totally forget the fact that they're like, I mean, I'm paying $35 for Sea of Thieves right now, and I don't get the other two tables till later. This makes me angry, It totally will kill all that if it's hits right.
Yeah. This is a huge opportunity for them, I think, right now. And this is also going to be something that can kind of differentiate themselves from the other platforms you can play Zen on, because these will be exclusive to the AtGames, won't they? These tables?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they are.
So they can actually have their own piece of the market with, these rare pinball packs and maybe future developers that come on board. So really big things, I think, going on for AtGames right now. They got so much stuff coming out. I know January is going to be kind of a slow month for them, kind of after all these big months. One big thing I saw them advertising this week is their affordable financing. And they kind of broke it down for us in this post, just saying that you can get the Jurassic Park 4KP right now with the program, and you're going to do a $500 initial down payment, $100 shipping, 12 months at 0% interest for the remaining balance, and no hidden fees. Do you know much, Raskull, about this program, the affordable financing, and has it been working out, and are people liking it?
I've not paid attention to the public on it. I've seen a few things that marketing shared back with me where people have said that they like the program. I mean, to be able to, and again, you look at those two payments, it's $500 initial payment towards the device, but there is a $100 shipping and handling that you're going to pay up front too. So I believe you're paying $600 total up front, and then splitting the rest into 12 interest-free payments. It's got, a lot of people do that. I bought a guitar from a company called Sounds. It was a $2,400 guitar. But I went ahead and did it interest-free, over 12 payments, and sealed the deal. I mean, I've already paid it off, in 2 months, but to be able to have that flexibility is cool. And so, AtGames is going ahead and kind of following the same thing other companies are doing in other, markets, and offering the same thing. So I've heard a couple of people tell me that they would not have bought it without this. So, and I know there's other ways you can do kind of interest-free or low interest, Klarna and all these other things, but they've all got their little catches here and there. So I think that's why we just, went this route to go ahead and say, hey, we're going to just do it ourselves and let you guys, take advantage of it.
I guess their protection from AtGames is they can just turn off the machine if you miss your payment.
There is a feature in there that yes, until you're caught up on the payment, that's as far as you'll get. It'll come up and say, rent
Yeah,
is due.
and that's kind of like
I'm joking. I'm not going to say exactly rent is due, but yeah,
yeah,
you know
your
what I mean.
payments do. Um, yeah, it's kind of like what happened when the network went down and everybody's machines went off. Everything's ran through their like servers. Like you can't access much of anything without having access to their servers, right?
There is an offline mode feature that's available on the devices where you can go ahead and take a pack offline. Um, I mean, you're literally kind of dedicating it to that machine temporarily, um, but there's going to be some things that will make it a little more automatic, so that you don't have to go ahead and manually take a license offline. There's we've seen the outages, and we're working on the safety nets.
Yep. And then, so the new program, basically, it'll be usable until you miss a payment. And then if you make a payment, I guess they'll turn it back on. That's going to kind of be their protection. And then, but it sounds like it's a good program, 0% interest. They're advertising again this month, so it must be working out. People must be using it. I know I'm looking at getting an AtGames 4KP here probably in the next month, maybe two. And I'll probably be using this affordable financing program. Only paying $500-600 up front, getting the rest over 12 months sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Especially if you're going to try to get into the SSF.
And there, I think there's also a feature on there. Don't quote me on the percentage, but if you want to pay the remaining balance on your plan, there will be incentive to pay off early,
where you could potentially save even more money. And then you can also use your referral codes too. There's I saw a referral program out there where you can save like another $50 off using people's links, things like that. I don't know if that works though on the financing. Do you guys know if the referral?
I think I've seen on Facebook.
It will.
People said yes, it did work.
Yes, it does. It does work. When you use that referral code and the discount code that comes with it, you will get the $50 off any device, and then that's where the money starts, coming off. So let's just use a round number. Something is $1,300. You get 50 off with the referral code, and then now you're at $1,250. Take away 600, and then you're 500, and then so you're doing 12 months to pay off the additional $750.
Okay, got it. And I noticed you have referral codes you're using, Raskull, Chaotic. You have some as well that you've been promoting that you guys can check out and save a little money. But yeah, I'll probably be looking to get mine in February. I was hoping in January they were going to do some pre-orders for some new skins, but I was looking at the calendar and there's no new games from Zen. There's no new skins coming, at least that they're advertising yet. It's pretty slow month, I would say, for pinball. Just a bunch of tournaments. They're also going to be doing some deals on some stuff, it looked like. They're talking about a New Year resolution celebration sale for the AAF program only. I was kind of talking with Chaotic before the stream. He was thinking that's going to just be like pinball packs are going to have a discount. That we may not.
I believe that is the case. I've seen obviously the calendar, but I have not seen the details from marketing. So if I was to hazard a guess, it would just be a discount pack on packs, non-Zen packs. Of course.
I was hoping they were going to do some big sell for people that are going to get into the AAF program to get even more money off their pinball machine, but it doesn't look like that.
Again, I haven't seen the details. That's a good point. They might be doing something on that. So we're only 5 days into the new year, and I think we've only been open technically two of those days. We'll see what the details are on it. I'm looking forward to it.
They've also got this homecoming deals as well that'll start. It looks like on the 16th. So those are going to be other deals they're going to be running this month. That will begin on the 16th.
Yeah, that's basically going to be a rehash of the week one deals. So when you do purchase your machine, you get the week one deals, and for 1 week, you can go ahead and get some discounts on packs. This is going to be a, like an anniversary. I don't know how you want to, put it out there. But this one is going to be the homecoming deals are going to be for those folks who had a previous machine with us. You'll get a discount on that also.
Okay. So
if you're coming from the HD world and you're getting into your 4K, there will be a different discount available to you for your week one deal. And that's when we're going to start.
They're just going to know that you're an HD owner.
I think they search
yes.
your legend.
And now in this one this is also going to go ahead. Let me see. Week one homecoming deal. There may be another feature on this. I don't know yet. So keep your eyes peeled for the full deets on that for marketing.
So more to come in the next week or two here on the WOD homecoming start. Those deals on the 16th. And then we've also got the AAF program, affordable financing program only New Year's resolution celebration sale. So maybe some opportunities to get some good deals on cabinets. Definitely, it sounds like going to get some good deals on pinball packs if you want to load up on those. But other than that, there's not much else in January other than Space Shuttle Deluxe. Is this just a single pinball table on this pack? Okay.
Yes. This is going to be similar to, have you seen in the past that there are deluxe tables for a lot of the Zacharias. And so now we're going through the list of some of the other tables that didn't have deluxes yet. And they're going to go ahead and make new versions of those.
Raskull, you don't know the pricing on the single packs, do you?
That I do not know.
I would imagine like $5 or $10 if it's just one.
If it's anything like to go with Steam, it'll probably be like $7.50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have not even, not that I'm not telling you, I haven't heard. So
no, I think the big month is February. That's where things are really going to hit a high gear for AtGames because they have Star Wars coming. Now, we're not going to talk about AtGames Star Wars tonight because there really isn't anything official out right now from them on this. But just talking about the Zen, Star Wars pinball for your PC or for your console like PlayStation 5, Switch. Do you guys enjoy playing these Star Wars pinball tables?
I remember playing some of these on the arcade Oneup pinball. I do remember this one. So
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I enjoyed some of these on the arcade Oneup, and I would love to get them on a like a 4K device. I think it'd be really dope.
Yeah, they're a ton of fun.
Yeah, I've got these on. I've got every Zen table, FX3 and FX, and love the Star Wars ones. What I really and this won't go, won't work on any devices, is the VR version.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, if you've ever played any of the Star Wars pinballs in VR, they are a big wow factor.
Check that out.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. I've had a opportunity to play those in the last week. GeForce guy who was in the chat earlier, he gifted me a Star Wars VR pinball for my MetaQuest headset. Man, that was a ton of fun. I felt like I was actually playing a real pinball machine, and it had 11 or 12 Star Wars pinball tables on that game. And you have the characters running around while you're playing, coming behind you, coming around you. It's a ton of fun. And I was impressed at how well they looked and how well they played on the MetaQuest.
Yeah, but I mean, even on PC, playing OTG, the Star Wars tables from Zen, just the way that they use toys, as I call them, on on pinball tables is just incredible. So just to see, Vader and Luke up there at the top on that one table. They've got another one where there are 3 slots of actual figure toys in the play field that you can go ahead and win. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I actually have had a chance to play OTG Star Wars pinball on my AtGames Legends Ultimate with the pinball buttons, and I have a ton of fun on that horizontal screen with the pinball buttons and no feedback. And I just have a really good time playing them that way. So I know when I get the pinball table, the 4K, I'm just going to have so much better experience playing it on an actual pinball table than I am that AtGames Legends Ultimate. But just really looking forward to using OTG and opening it up in that way to play these. Now, you play it on FX or FX3?
I play typically on FX for my OTG. I mean, I've got the FX3 on my machine as well, but I only go back to that for tables that are not on FX, like the Balls of Steel pack with Archer and Family Guy and things like that. You know, packs that I can't get on FX yet. You know, I love playing those on
Bob's
FX3.
Burgers is the one I like to play, and that one's not yet available on FX. And
yeah, Bob's Burgers is great.
but I'll also play the FX3 because, like, I have a gaming PC I use for streaming here next to me. But the one in my living room that I hook up to my AtGames Legends Ultimate's a smaller, like, media PC, and it doesn't have, like, a high-end graphics card. It's just got, like, a real small entry-level graphics card. So it doesn't run FX, but it runs FX3 just fine. So that's why I'm typically playing FX3 when I do it that way. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love the Star Wars tables. They're some of my favorite Zen pinball tables, also the Marvel as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, are they going to bring Star Wars and Marvel to the AtGames Legends 4K pinball? Because that's going to be something I'm going to get soon.
Well, I know that Zen's excited for it as well. There was a stream, I forget whose stream it was, where they had Mel Kirk from Zen on there, announcing that there's going to be releases of tables day and date that are going to hit PC, consoles, and then also adding on.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be the kind of stuff I'm really excited to see happen this year. Is going to be a new table, and I don't have to sit there and bite my tongue, because I know when it's coming out on AtGames, it's going to be announced, and those kind of tables are going to hit everywhere at one time. That's
and then
sweet.
That way going forward, everything's coming at the same time. You're not having to wait for those tables to come to the AtGames. You're just enjoying them day one, and you get everything, not just certain games. You get them all.
Yep, and then it gives people the flexibility as to what platform they really want to buy it on. And some people are there will be people who buy it on both or 3 or 4 platforms. I'm one of those people. I have all the tables on at least PC, many on Switch, and many on Xbox, just because I want those tables. I want to be able to play wherever I'm at.
I did hear Zen talking about if you have the FX3 version or you have the FX version on Switch, going forward, you're going to be able to get the other version for free. So, like, if you have FX3, you'll be able to get FX. Yep. If you have FX, you'll be able to get FX3 for free. You don't have to pay extra. They're saying they're still running into some issues with, like, Xbox, PlayStation, definitely AtGames being able to do that. But hopefully that'll come across on all consoles, all platforms, to where you get both versions. Also, would be nice is paying for one pinball table and getting it on all platforms, not having to buy individual versions for each,
That'd be awesome. But I mean, from what I've experienced here working at AtGames with Zen, is that there's different development for different platforms. Even if you're talking a baseline of, let's say you used Unreal Engine for everything, you still have to go ahead and tweak Unreal Engine for the different platforms, not just by itself. It's tweaked at the table level, and then you've got the actual hardware devices. You've got Rumble Pack, or using the term poorly, but you've got the Rumble built into the Nintendo Switch itself, the controllers. Then you've got SSF on the AtGames platform. All these different things do require additional development. It's not develop once, distribute 4 times. So,
and the development cost is different for each one too.
Yes.
So one might require more development cost than the other. So they would have to make up for that on the cost, or sell it separately to make the extra amount on it. So it does make a lot of sense,
Yep.
and maybe that will be a long time before that ever comes, or may never come. But it would be cool to be able to buy, for instance, Empire Strikes Back Star Wars and be able to play it on anything that's Zen, anything that has Zen on it.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to licensing and money. Licensors will, want to see their nickel for everything that goes on a device. So if you sell it once and go to multiple devices, that may not fly with them. And then you've also got licensing at the platform level. Again, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, they all get their cuts when you buy something on their stores. So, if you go ahead and take that away from them, then it kind of they're not as incented to allow you to do it. So
make
I
their
mean,
money.
the fact that Nintendo did that for Zen is actually huge. For them to go ahead and say, "All right, I get it. They went ahead and bought this from you before, and then so we'll let them play it here." I don't know, but maybe Zen has to give Nintendo money for that. I'm not sure how that how that kind of stuff works with Nintendo. So unless Nintendo's just being very gracious on that one. So that was a very interesting bit of news that came out.
Yeah, and something else I'd like to see, and this may actually happen based on talking about the simultaneous releases for their tables, is like when you see the advertisement for a Zen table that's coming out, a trailer, a teaser, it actually having AtGames at the bottom listed with PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo, actually having their logo there, I think will go a long way too, and recognizing that it's just another way that you can play Zen is on the 4K. Because I think the AtGames 4K, it's still pretty big in like home arcade, but I don't know how big it's gotten outside of home arcade yet. And once you start getting that representation on like the trailers, things like that, more and more people will want to know what it is and be interested in getting one. And so that was all good talk. I love talking the AtGames stuff with you guys, especially you, Raskull, knowing that you're a big part of what they're making and putting out and testing that stuff to make sure it's ready. I'm sure the Killer Instinct and the Battletoads will be. Mm-hmm. Oh, his headset must have gone out. But yeah, I know he's a big part of making sure those games are ready. And I think the delay with Killer Instinct and Battletoads will be well worth it. That'll be something we'll see as a result, a much better table when it releases.
Well, I mean, if you look at Natural History Pack 3, it got delayed several times. And then you look at Sea of Thieves, it got delayed several times. So hopefully by letting it cook a little bit longer, we'll get a well-done product.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear us all right?
I can't hear you.
No, you may have to go into the settings and change
How about now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay. Too many people were saying I was out of sync, so screw it. I just went with my 2.4 gigahertz headset.
And that's common, Raskull, is a lot of people get out of sync on Restream. That's one of the negatives about it. I noticed last week when we had Gamer Fridge on, we had Todd. They were out of sync. It's just part of this platform, and it doesn't run that great, unfortunately. But this has been a ton of fun talking about this stuff. Like I said, I'm getting very close to getting one of these. It'll probably be in the next month or two. I'll be able to speak from experience like you guys. I've just been able to observe. Get the SSF kit.
Get the SSF kit.
Yeah, you have to. I have a good friend of mine in Canada just told me he got his table. I'm like, did you get the SSF? He goes, no. I'm like, but unfortunately, well, when you dealing with Canada, the pricing up there is a little bit higher.
Yeah,
I think he told me it's 600 Canadian for the SSF kit.
If it's going to put you in a financial burden, don't worry about it. Like, it's not
that
serious. But
that's what's good about the financing is you can just get everything at one time, spread it out over a year, and make it a little more easier, reasonable to do it all at one time. Because coming up with like $2,000 up front is a lot to ask. But we know, like in this home arcade community, we buy stuff for $500-$600 all the time.
Exactly.
That's a much easier pill to swallow. And then with nothing else new really releasing over the rest of this year, probably, you can pay that thing off, over the course of the year. But yeah, you guys should be looking forward to seeing me doing some content on this stuff here very soon.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, and doing some live streams. I got to get the camera set up like you, Chaotic, where you get a good visual of the table while you're playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed you'd moved your Attack from Mars over there where we can see it behind you now.
Yeah.
And you've got the jaws. You got all that video running on the back glass. That's really cool. I'm going to have to do all that.
Yeah,
no, his
I
attract
set these
modes
up.
are
They're
a must.
on my Google Drive,
Yeah.
and I call it a track mode, man. A lot of people in the community are using it, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
proud of
awesome.
Yeah, I got rid of all the other ones temporarily, of course, for the season, and just had the Christmas one he had up there, the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. But then, once the season ended, went ahead and just, put my other memory stick in there. And how many do you have going now? Is it almost 20 or
14 or 16? I think.
Yeah.
I'm working on 6 more.
I remember the first one we worked on.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, you helped me with Attack from Mars, the first one. So.
Yep.
I've been playing a lot of mini golf with MG lately. He'll say some off the wall stuff, but he's saying SSF isn't a must. I think he's just trying to start something there because everything I've heard, you've got to have it. It's like
it expands the entire experience. It's fantastic.
Now, if you don't get it starting out, though, it's simple to install later. It's got the pre-drill holes and everything, so you could always add it.
Everything is labeled for you where it goes in. Like the way AtGames set up the instructions on everything, where everything blue matches with blue, one goes with one, something like that. It's easy. It's really easy.
Nice.
And then inside the cabinet, all the holes are already pre-drilled for you, so you just screw them in, man. It's really good.
Yeah, it is. You're going to put in one sound card, which basically, like Gag said, there's holes there to put the mounts. You put the PCB on there. All of the cables are labeled and color coded, and as long as you just follow those instructions, you can get it done pretty darn quick. I will say that the only fun part, and by fun I mean oh heck, is physically taking the display out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be afraid.
Because I think you got the power cable on that, the backlight cables, and then you've got the actual data cable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not easily done by one person. I would the second person does not have to be experienced at doing mods.
Mm-hmm.
The second, my wife helped me out in doing this. I'm like, here, honey, hold the monitor this way. Thanks. Click, click, click. Put it down. Matter of fact, I got a little squirrely, and I'm like, okay, I put in the back 2 exciters. I'm going to let you put in the front 2. And she did, no problem. It was her first mod ever, and it was that easy to follow. So,
can you believe that these machines are a year old now? I think it was around this time last year, first week of January, that the Adams family shipped.
Yep,
the very first units.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, honestly, for me, because being behind the scenes and working on these things day to day, obviously before the Pinball Expo, I've been working on these.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies. It really does.
Yeah,
it's already hitting its 1-year anniversary, and I think things are heading really in a good direction for AtGames right now. Loving what they're doing. It's so much fun to talk about. Can't wait to get one to where I can actually play it and be able to play pinball like on a real pinball machine rather than playing it on my computer screen or on my handheld. So it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
But I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. This has been a ton of fun. We've been speaking for an hour and 45 minutes now about, Media Oneup, what they have coming at CES. We even got a lot of Dungeons and Dragons talk in tonight and what they're doing at CES. Also, AtGames, they got tons of stuff we could talk about for hours that they're going to be releasing here this upcoming week at CES. And then all the AtGames news, Rare Pack, the Natural History Pack, as well as the couple of cells coming in January and the new Space Shuttle Deluxe coming in January. So Going to be a lot of fun here coming up in the next few weeks here with the AtGames stuff as well. But anything you guys want to close out with on the show tonight? Like Chaotic, do you want to share anything coming up on your channel, or you want to share with everybody?
Those with the 4KP, I'll continue making a track modes coming up. I'll be releasing another pack. With AtGames, not really doing many releases this month. I'm kind of taking a couple weeks off just to reset and get some rest and spend some more time with my family away from YouTube.
Yeah,
so
that's always good.
Yeah, look for Yo Retro to come back around the time Zen's first table releases in February. And we'll do some reviews and coverage on all the new releases coming up, because it's going to be pinball pack after pinball pack, week after week.
Oh, starting in February. Yeah, it's about to get
February, and
it's about to get crazy in the first week of February.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah. I mean, imagine working, on these tables day in, day out. That's tough, but I mean, it's about to be a really, really good year for the rest of the year for AtGames when it comes.
So the next few weeks, enjoy your time off, because you're going to be busy when you get back.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I do understand that too, getting away from YouTube and just taking a break every once in a while, so you don't get burnt out, and then you create more creative, come up with new ideas for when you return. So I'm looking forward to when you get back from that.
Hell yeah.
And what about you,
Raskull?
Raskull?
Back into streaming. I mean, I've been so busy with work and trying to get that work-life balance, which is tough when you're working a lot more than 40 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
But made it my New Year's resolution to try to get a better work-life balance, and also to get onto other streams more. You've asked me several times, and I've just finally I just told the wife I'm going to start doing this. Maybe it's, one person's stream a week. I'll go ahead and jump on if I'm
invited. I saw you on AA Arcades Anonymous stream too. That was fun to have you on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they helped me get past my 1,000 hump, so I had to go ahead and help celebrate their 500 subs.
That was a killer prize too. I wanted to win that.
Yeah, I shipped that out this Saturday. I think depending upon how the weather goes, the winner should get it Wednesday or Thursday. So look forward to
I
hearing
may
how
end
they
up buying
enjoyed that.
one just because I wanted.
But yeah,
one.
no. Yeah. So I'm not streaming my show this week. God willing, with the weather, I am traveling to Los Angeles for work. So I'm going to be gone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So my next stream will be next Tuesday, and we will definitely be doing gaming with viewers. Anybody who does not know where to find me, URL is there now. So, but we'll be doing gaming with viewers next Tuesday, and then we will also be, I will be joining the Tuesday night VR mini golfs. So I've missed that, and I know you just recently got into that in the last month.
I just got into MetaQuest in the last month.
You've been enjoying the hell out of it
now. Like, I play VR more than I do anything else recently because it's just new to me, and I'm loving it. And I just got the PSVR 2, so I've been playing that now. That's taking up even more of my time. But I definitely join the mini golf whenever that comes up on Tuesday nights. And then we've been playing during the week. Pretty much every night we'll get a group together to play now. I'm getting better. I scored, I think, a 0 last night, which was good for me.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah, I got par for the whole course. And I won the night, too. Like, I was first place. But I think there was one guy in there who's really good, was going easy on me. Because he's normally like -8, -10, and he was like plus something last night. So I think he
No, we usually have ringers on Tuesday nights. So Rebel is always very good. God forbid we get Brooklyn Medicine. He'll show us up. But it's a great time. That's kind of an extension of our show. Sean and I just love rapping with the viewers and chat and stuff. And that is, the rest of us just hanging around, talking while playing mini golf.
Ton of fun. So, I'm glad I got my VR headset and I started playing mini golf with y'all on Tuesdays because that's a ton of fun. Also, Shotgun Sean, I've been asking him to play VR with me. Also, I've been wanting to get him on the show too. So maybe I can get him on as a guest here soon, because I'd love to hear Sean's opinion on a lot of this stuff. And that's kind of been the format of my show since I started back up a couple months ago, is I just bring in guests on every week now rather than doing a solo show. I just think it's more fun having random people on every week and just getting a wide range of opinions on all these subjects rather than hearing the same person every week or hearing the same, panel each week, getting different people on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good format. That's Sean and I break our show up once a month by doing the community show, where we just have our friends come on. Heck, sometime we get surprises on there where we'll have people who aren't YouTubers, just viewers that show up. So it's good to break
I never
it up that
miss Raskull show, and I try to not miss Chaotic show as well on Thursdays. Those shows are just like every week. I'm looking forward to y'all being on air and sharing your stuff, because Chaotic's channel's been taken off since you got into the AtGames, and then Raskull's show is just about having a good time, just a community get together and everybody talking home arcade or guitars or whatever's on your mind that week. All right, guys. Well, y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, and make sure to make it a good week on Monday, guys. And we'll be back next Sunday for another Chillin' Chat, and I'll see everyone in the next one. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Later, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.